Hello, and welcome to the Husky MMA Report, a all-new podcast with myself, Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe, also known as the Great Collini, and former UConn defensive end star, MVP of the Motor City Bowl, the Marauder, Tyler King. Tyler, welcome. You did it.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
You did an incredible Husky talk, and
I appreciate that.
because of your listenership, we have been talking for a little while, and we thought about trying to work together on something.
Yeah,
So I think
absolutely.
this is definitely a great idea. There's not enough coverage of MMA, especially locally in the New England area. I think this will be a good show. I think we got a lot to
Agreed.
talk about.
Agreed.
Um, Obviously, the big news of the week. Okay, first thing is Connor McGregor, Michael
Mhm.
Chandler, the fight getting canceled. The other thing is Dana White claiming the revenue was going to
Mhm.
be close to $20 million before
Oh,
all was said
yeah.
and done, which experts have said is completely outrageous, and
It's not.
they don't think it's accurate.
It's not.
So, what do you
I mean,
know
no, no,
about?
no. Oh, go. Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, what do you know about? You wanted to talk. What do you know about the McGregor situation? And then, what are your thoughts on some of the pundits claiming UFC 303 grossing 20 million? Like some of the biggest boxing fights didn't gross 20 million. There's no way they're
Well,
making that much.
so I have a whole plethora, but let's start off with the claim of the 20 million. So I believe they're talking $20 million gate, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Jesus, like I just took my zit out and you're lighting up a butt, dude. I love you. I fucking love you.
That's how the show works.
Okay, it's like we'll throw my zin back in,
Anything
but
goes. Anything goes.
I think I'll have to zin it up here. So we'll get back to that. So UFC 303 has been sold out for months on the strength, obviously, of Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. The build up to the Ultimate Fighter, and just the war of words and honestly very entertaining war of words that's been going on Instagram,
Yeah,
Twitter, etc. So
McGregor knows how to play the game. He knows how to be an entertainer, and he knows how
of
to
course.
draw a fight.
So I, on a whim, was looking at tickets for the fight, and I think the lowest price ticket was
Yeah,
in the $3,800 range.
yeah.
That's
Like
for for
the
nosebleeds
average
at
ticket
T-Mobile,
was like 10 grand.
and it was for the so that was at T-Mobile Arena. What's capacity for T-Mobile Arena? It's at least I believe it's 20,000, right? We're right
It,
around
it
20,000.
it depends how they set it up, but
Like
yeah, it would be
with all the
close
floor
to that.
seats, we're probably looking at 20,000. So I mean,
Yeah, with
obviously,
everything, sure.
obviously, both of us as student athletes, math isn't our strong suit. But
No, we're not
so you,
stats guys.
but I mean, you're looking at 20,000 times. Like if you do 20,000 times 3,000, you're looking at 600,000. Some of those floor seats are in like the hundreds of thousands of dollars range.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
It
talking
could be
about front
true.
row, front row seats. You're looking at like tens or 50. Like I don't know what the
Yeah.
highest price ticket was. You're talking about packages as well.
Yep.
UFC was selling all sorts of VIP packages.
Yep. Yep.
Then
They got luxury taxes.
we're looking at the concession revenue, liquor revenue, gambling revenue, because the UFC has gambling partnerships, I believe,
They do.
Dra- with DraftKings or BetMGM. Or I'm just naming off the betting apps that I use. I don't know for sure, but total revenue. We haven't talked about merchandise yet. Um, what the UFC is getting for appearances by fighters. Talking about pre-fight parties, just on the day of the event, all the events and revenue, merchandise, food sales, everything out of T-Mobile Arena, and especially on top of those astronomical ticket prices. I don't think a $20 million gate's out of the question. I think I
Yeah,
want to say McGregor's best gate was something in the 10 to $15 million
I
range.
think it
I
was.
could be
Yeah,
wrong. Like
yeah,
I
it was
want,
either Dustin Poirier or Nate Diaz. I think was
yeah,
near his
I
biggest
want to say it
gate.
was something in the 11 to $12 million range. I
Yeah.
think I could be 100% wrong here. I don't know for sure, but
So,
like all these pundits. That is definitely not out of the wrong possibility of a $20
yeah.
million gate. It's a not. I'm sorry. Conor McGregor is a transcendent generational star in combat sports. I mean, no one
Well,
like.
I mean, people think that he may have lost a step and could be a little overrated. What are your
I
thoughts
mean,
on that?
came in the UFC, won 5 fights in a row, won the
He
UFC
did.
interim, won the UFC interim title on a short notice fight with Chad Mendes versus a wrestler who was
He
supposed to
always took
be.
short notice fights.
He was
Yep, I
supposed to be
agree with
the
you.
antithesis. Thing is, Chad Mendes is supposed to be the antithesis of like what Conor McGregor's opponents were supposed to be. He was a rugged, strong, short wrestler, and Conor diced him up, beat him, got taken down, got up, and TKO'd him in the second or third round. I forget what round it
Yeah.
was, but finished him. Then the very next fight knocked out Jose Aldo in 6 seconds. So I
Let,
mean,
let me ask you this.
mhm.
Since we're talking about revenue, I don't want to throw you off, but
No, it's okay.
we're both UFC and we're both WWE fans.
Yeah,
What were your thoughts on the merger? UFC, WWE merging together, TKO corporations, um, you know, the trouble with Vince McMahon and being on the board
Oh,
and having to
oh,
step down. Do
oh!
you
I
think the
was
merger is going to help UFC or do you think it's
oh,
hurting them?
honestly, I think it's I don't think it really makes the biggest difference. The UFC was kind of always independent, and they
Yep,
still run pretty independently. TKO,
they are.
Dana
They
White
are.
control. Dana White runs the show.
He does.
I was very much looking forward to some sort. I was looking for the crossover fights. I was looking
Yeah.
forward to some. I was looking forward to some WWE superstars trying their hand at mixed martial arts. I was very much looking
That's what
forward
people
to.
thought. But people think it'll be the other way around.
Well,
People
no,
think,
that was the next thing I was gonna say. I
yeah,
was I was here for it for UFC stars to be like start wrestling. I was here for it with Michael Chandler making an appearance on Monday Night Raw. I thought that was tremendous in my opinion. I I mean, listen, dude. Then we got Poopgate and Jesse
yeah,
being my sick mind. I'm just like the entertainment value of Poopgate alone and the amount of jokes we got out of that made it all well worth it. But I was very much looking forward to some like the crossover, some WWE stars fighting in the UFC, and I enjoyed so far the Michael Chandler situation. UFC stars making appearances in WWE. I'm looking for. I want to see Derek Lewis in
yeah. And I
WWE.
want to see Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley, has some MMA experience,
Bobby
and
Lashley
he looks
would not fight.
incredible.
No. Bobby Lashley would not fight me.
You called out Bobby Lashley?
No, that fight was on the table for Bellator, and it
Oh,
never materialized. Bobby Lashley didn't want the
well,
smoke.
well, there's got to be a big weight difference. I mean, he's got to
No,
weigh a lot more than you.
we were both heavyweights. He would have to make the 265 limit. I believe I was walking around 250 at that point,
Yeah.
245, 250. And I've had a lot of fights where I've been outweighed, but it is what it is. It's a heavyweight fight. If you're over 206 pounds and under 266, you can fight.
So going back, now we'll talk about McGregor.
Yes.
He basically said that there was a lapse in concentration and engaged in training session without
Yeah.
wearing full protective gear. And he hit his toe off an elbow and broke the
Yeah.
toe clean.
Yeah.
And he only needs a few weeks to recover. But he still isn't offering a timeline on his return, but expressed a desire to finish his final two fights in UFC because I think he's seeing the UFC fighters go to boxing and get big money. So I mean, he really wants to get out of there.
McGregor already went to boxing and
He
had
did. They let him do it. Yep.
he made over $100 million fighting Floyd Mayweather. That's
Huge
when
gig. Yep.
that's when he went from wealthy to generationally wealthy, and now he's driving around Bugattis and floating around with Lamborghini yachts, which God bless him. He built
But
his empire.
he did.
God fucking bless him. Um,
But people think that he's overrated now. He's only won, I think it was one or two fights in the last few years, and
yeah,
I watched it.
and
It was
but
against the
you look
Cerrone.
at oh yeah, Cerrone. That was
He
a
was at
very
the end.
that was an aged, weathered, and the end of the road Cerrone. It's not the same Cerrone who was fighting in
No,
2016 and
not even
before.
close. Not even close. So that's
Um,
why he got beat by Poirier.
mhm,
So people think that he's overrated, and people think that he may have lost some of his desire because, like you said,
yeah.
he's already got the generational wealth. He's got the tequila company.
Mhm.
Why beat myself up?
Well, Marvin Hagler had the best quote ever in combat sports about that. It's hard to wake up and run in the rain at 5 in the morning when you're waking up in silk sheets. We're seeing that with Conor McGregor. You know,
That's a great thing.
having been a fighter and
Yeah, you know how much goes into it, and
no,
and
but
you know,
like I'm one of those people that firmly believes that fighting just does it for Conor McGregor. Something just like it does it for me. Like something in my head. Like I'll give you an example. Like I really don't have much of a desire to compete anymore. I have one more fight that's a very personal thing for me, and we'll take care of
yes, it
that.
is. It
We'll take
is.
care of
Yes,
that.
we
But
will.
like I'll give you an example. So I believe it was yesterday or the day before. I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see a post, and it's from Enigma Jiu-Jitsu. It's run by Christos Papadopoulos. I'm sorry, Christos, for messing your name up. But he runs this
Well,
promotion called
it's a
Enigma Jiu-Jitsu. He
tough
trains with
Greek
Gordon.
name.
He trains with Gordon Ryan in Austin, Texas, at New Waves Jiu-Jitsu. I believe that they train right now out of Henzo Gracie in Austin, Texas. Um, you know, he's just in it in the world of jiu-jitsu. And
Right.
My coach John Connors took a match at their next show in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I believe it's in July, middle of
Were you
July.
were you surprised by that he took a
No,
fight, or not
no,
at all?
no.
Not at
That's just
all.
John. That's John. That's my coach. That's my guy. Um, but I saw that and I'm just like, okay. Well, John's taking a fight. I gotta do one too. So I
Well,
immediately
you've been doing grappling and you've been doing other stuff. I mean,
yeah,
you just haven't
it's
been true
it's a
MMA.
grappling match. So I immediately reached out to Chris House and I said, "Hey, John took a fight. I guess I got to take one too." And he said, "Or I took a match. I hate saying fight about jiu-jitsu matches, grappling matches, but I said John took a match. I guess I got to take one too." He goes, "Okay." Sends me a link. Fill this out, and I looks like I'm gonna have a match if someone will fight me on
Right.
July
In
16th. Yeah,
in July
hey, we'll see.
16th, right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I like I've been saying for like the last 2 weeks, I have no desire to compete. I just want to fight the
Well, I
douchebag.
I think because you fought for so long, and now you've transitioned
Well,
into management and running your own company and
yeah.
training fighters. So that's really more where your passion, I would think,
Well,
is.
yeah, but then again, I spent the last 2 weeks um coming in the morning and do jiu-jitsu with
I know
my
you did.
training partner Daniel Mola. Shout out, shout out Daniel Mola. New Jersey Open, IBJJF New Jersey Open, absolute champion. He won a bronze medal in his division, won a gold medal in the absolute division. And it just inspired me. And I was like, oh, so I think getting back into training and helping my guy prepare kind of lit the fire again. But circling back, Conor McGregor, all these pundits can say what they want to say about him, but he's
You're a
got
fan.
that.
I like it.
I am a fan, but all these pundits can say whatever they want to say. You cannot deny Conor McGregor has that itch, has that thing inside him that
He
compels him to
does.
fight.
He's got an
So
it factor, and I agree with you. But
no, the itch,
Tyler,
the
the itch.
itch.
I know he wants to fight, but Tyler, honestly, when I saw him throw a dolly through a bus window, I thought like, okay, if this happened in any other sport, like
Oh
Ron
yeah,
Artest got suspended for an entire season because he
yeah,
got hit with a beer and went into the stands and punched a fan.
yeah.
Conor McGregor
No,
throws a dolly through a glass window and nothing happens. Like Dana White says, "Oh, I'll never work with him
okay,
again."
okay.
Well,
No,
I'm
okay,
working with
okay,
him.
okay. Okay. Here's the difference. I'll tell you the difference right now. The
Okay,
NBA, the NBA does not need Ron Artest. The NBA, Ron Artest,
you're
whatever.
right.
The NBA
You're
does
right.
not need Ron Artest. They're still going to make hundreds of millions of dollars without
You're
Ron
right.
Artest.
You're right.
The
That's true. I never thought of it like
The UFC makes the most money that they make
yeah,
when Conor
yeah,
McGregor fights.
yeah.
They
He's
make
their
the
big. I
most.
mean, he's the
They
biggest
make
draw.
giant. They make giant money just from him talking on social media. The UFC, Conor McGregor butters the UFC's bread. Ron Artest
He
does
does.
not butter the
All
NBA's
right.
bread.
When you put it that way, okay, I get it. It makes sense. The NBA losing meta world peace at the time was not going to hurt the league, but
Nope.
UFC, when you're right, when Conor McGregor fights, you're looking at a difference of 10 to $20 million. So I
Exactly.
understand
10 to
why,
12. No.
hundreds
10
of
to 20.
millions, hundreds of millions. I get you.
Thank
And
you.
they
Thank
got
you.
the ESPN contract probably because of that, which paid him billions.
Oh,
Um,
Conor McGregor wasn't quite as big back then, but he was a big part of that deal.
yeah, so I will agree with you there. But the other issue is okay. Jon Jones was set to fight Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
Jon Jones,
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic. Jon Jones gets injured. But again, you're looking at a guy. I watched his last fight. You know, he dominated it and
Yeah.
it won in great fashion. But I don't understand as a fighter how you can take years off. I know he had like some grappling matches in between, but a guy that's taking years off between fights, and it's all because you know the UFC, the pay scale is really unfair and way off compared to other sports.
Uh,
Well,
the guys that make the most money
well, the ones that
for the
draw,
company, the
yeah,
ones that draw, get paid the most. And
you're right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing about Jon Jones. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Jon Jones in hand-to-hand combat is the baddest motherfucker to
I
ever
agree.
walk this planet, bro. I am a
Then
world.
I'd pay
I
him.
okay, okay. I am a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist, and I
Right.
was training. I got the opportunity to train with Jon Jones.
Oh, I did
I
not know
start.
that.
I started in guard. Guard is the position where you're on your back, legs
Yes.
wrapped around his waist, and you're going. And we didn't make gloves on, and I'm like saying, and I said to myself, well, he's not a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm not gonna dive on his legs. I'm just gonna do like traditional. I'm gonna do, bro. When I say I couldn't do shit, I could not do fucking shit.
Do
Like
you
he
think
grabbed my
would
arm.
you
He
do you
grabbed
think
my
he was
arm.
taking it easy on you, or do you think he was really like
No,
trying his
I
best?
think he wasn't gonna let me get some cheap shit. But like,
Yeah.
dude, he grabbed my arm. My arm stayed grabbed. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to bump him. Didn't move. I'm gonna try to get a knee shield in. Could get a knee shield in. I'm gonna try to like invert it. I'm gonna try to invert. Try to make some. Nope. He held me, got me. He passed the half guard, and I couldn't do fucking shit, bro. Passed like
But
I
did you think he like as a person, like do you think he's a good guy? Like
to me like well him
easy
and
to
I
work with?
actually. Oh, he like when I met him, talk when we were hanging out. He was a freaking awesome dude, and like him and I like he like me. He's like, "Oh, you're a different kind of athlete." He's like, "What'd you play?" He's like, "What'd you play?" I was like, "Oh, I did a couple years in the NFL, played in the NCAA." He's like, "Oh, okay, I knew that." So we were just like talking about his brothers. And he's like, "Well, where'd you
Yep.
play?" I was like, "Oh, I played for the Cardinals." And then we were talking about
That's who
Chandler for a while.
Chandler is. Yep.
Oh, where you from? I'm from Mass. I've lived in the Boston area for years. My
He's
dad
a
played for the
Rochester
Patriots.
guy.
My dad played for Patriots for years. Oh, I'm like, yeah, we were talking about like what we get specifics, talk about Chandler in New England and how good, like all that stuff. John's a great dude. As far as I'm concerned, he's a great dude, but John's got that demon in him too. It's part of what
Well,
makes him so great. It's part of what makes him so great. Been a little bit of unhinged. I don't give a fuck. I know I'm better than you. Like
he does.
the interview he did with Daniel Cormier when they were singing in the same room with Joe Rogan, and he
Yeah,
says,
I remember
"I'm going
that.
to unleash all the most malicious techniques I have on you. And I want you to train as hard as you can. And you will know. I want you to know there's nothing you can do. All your training will be for nothing because I am going to just destroy you." And what happened? 2 fights in a row. Jon Jones beat the shit out of Daniel
Well,
Cormier, took
he
him down.
technically beat him 3 times in a row. The one got
They only
reversed.
fought twice.
Oh,
No,
I thought they
I'm
fought 3
talking.
times.
That's what I'm talking about. They were supposed to fight 3 times before this. Before their second fight, the first time,
He
John got
got hurt.
suspended. No, he got
The
suspended.
suspension, right.
He got suspended for a performance-enhancing substance.
I remember that, but he ended up winning the
Yeah,
lawsuit and getting everything overturned.
yeah, exactly. And
But he's held out of fighting because he wants more money. He has his
justified,
contract,
justified, justified. He's a star. He's get paid more.
but
He's the second biggest star in the UFC
but
behind
you
Conor
can't take
McGregor.
3 years off in between fights. Like, why
Why
are you
not?
taking 3
Why
years
not?
off in between
He's
fights?
never lost. He has generational wealth now.
I agree.
He could never fight again and be fine. Living in his fucking
No, I
compound
agree.
in New
But
Mexico with his cache of guns and his fucking army of Malmoys.
But you
Dude,
don't think that
dude,
he should be fighting at least once a year, twice a year? I mean, because
why?
he
Why? He
wants to
doesn't need
be
to.
if you wanna be
Dude,
champion.
he's got 2 fights left in him. He's got 2 fights. I'm not saying he could probably fight for another 5 years if
Well,
he wanted to,
yeah,
but
he'll
he's
get
got 2 fights left. He's got Stipe. Then he's got whoever the interim champion is. After
yeah,
that,
he
doesn't
does.
matter. Like
Um,
he wins both those fights, which I believe he will. He is the greatest of all time, unquestioned. He's never lost.
yeah, he's
He lost
undefeated.
his qualification. He has his qualification loss on his record
Yeah,
from an
against
illegal.
our hero, Matt Hamill from New Hartford,
Another
New York.
guy that will not fight me.
Matt Hamill, I know,
Will
he
not
wouldn't
fight
fight
me.
you. He wouldn't fight you.
I mean,
That's alright, you don't wanna
hey
fight him right now.
Matt, if you're watching.
He reads
No,
lips.
wait. Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice to call him that. I'm sure he's gonna love
Well,
hearing that.
I don't care. He is a
We'll
pussy.
tag Matt Hamill when we put this on Facebook and
Go ahead.
Instagram and see if he responds.
Hey Matt, there's no sound to that, but you're a
Yeah.
pussy.
Um,
Pussy.
the other thing I wanted to ask you is, okay, they lose Chandler and they lose McGregor, so they go with light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, and he's got a rematch against
With Jiri
Yuri.
Prochazaka. I'll give you a
Yes,
nice little story about Jiri. I was
that's
actually
the
I,
headliner.
I was actually in 2017 I had a proposal to fight Jiri in Japan, and I actually accepted, but it just never materialized. And I will say right now, thank God that fight didn't materialize because Jiri is a bad motherfucker. He is a bad motherfucker, dude. He
You
would have
think
fucked my
he's
world up.
you think he's got a chance against Pereira?
He has a chance, but I think Pereira will beat him.
Okay, so you do think Pereira will beat him?
Pereira will win, but Jiri's a bad man, but Pereira will win that fight.
I got you. I got you. Now, looking at the rest of the card, what
Well,
other fights do you think? Like,
before
I
we do
could,
that, I want to go back, just kind of go back on McGregor Chandler. I have a quote
yeah,
for you here. Connor's quote about the injury. I
Oh,
couldn't
it was great.
justify. I couldn't justify. I couldn't justify it to my team or my fans to make the walk again hindered. In 2000, I believe 16, he was injured against Chad Mendez when Jose Aldo pulled out with a rib injury. And my good friend and former coach Tommy was in that camp. McGregor had legit sprain or tear his MCL, beat the shit out of Chad Mendez.
Yeah,
But
he did.
in circling back, he mocked Jose Aldo, his rib injury, saying he couldn't walk. McGregor said he couldn't walk 2 weeks before the fight.
Well, a
And
rib
a
injury
rib.
is really, really, really tough.
Connor
I
couldn't.
mean,
Dude, you can get Novocaine. You can take some Motrin. You can fight with a. Okay,
you
I'm
can't breathe
interrupting.
with a rib injury. You can't breathe.
There's two things. I have two things here. One, I actually understand Connor's thing because he was injured going into the Poirier fight where he broke his leg. He has stress fracture of his tibia, and then he broke it
Correct.
clean in the fight. We all saw that. So
But the
I have
doctor should never have cleared him for that.
yeah, but you get cleared. I mean, I see the toe, and it's a fucking toe. Like I'm not gonna
That's
pull my
different.
foot.
I
I'm
agree.
not gonna pull my foot out right now. But the kind of toe injuries I played with during our time
We
in
all did.
UConn,
We
yeah, I
all
know.
did.
But I have a bunion about this fucking big on my left foot now. Like
Yeah.
my left big toe like is sideways. It will be that way for the rest of my life. So part of me like thinks McGregor is being a little light in the loafers. But on the other hand, coming off the injuries, coming off, and the fact that he tried
I
to
agree with that.
fight with a
Yep.
stress fracture, fact tried to fight with a stress fracture, this is justified in my opinion. With a clean break, like see the X-ray. Granted,
Yes.
it's only his pinky toe, but fuck that, dude. Be full strength for this one. It's a big fucking fight.
No, I know. And the guy I feel bad for, honestly, is Chandler
Oh,
because
I do too. I do too.
they don't give him a replacement. Um, and
What
I thought that was wrong. I thought
thing
somebody
is,
should have
I
stepped
believe the
up.
contract. I believe the contract's already signed, so he can
Well,
hold out and wait for.
yeah,
He can
he
hold out and
wants
do it.
McGregor. He does. I
And
know he wants to hold out and
McGregor
get
had
that
one of the
payday.
best quotes. McGregor had one of the best quotes today. He said, "You want Chandler to fight? Well, he have to fight. He have to fight 10 times to make the amount of money he's going to make to fight me." So,
He's right.
Michael Chandler, you sit on that ass. You friggin' just stay in shape, dude. Do your thing. Wait for that fight. He's doing the right thing.
When you're also looking at the UFC 303 card,
Yes.
there's the talk about people should be able to get refunds because McGregor is not fighting, and they aren't going to see McGregor Chandler. They changed the
Hey
main
everyone.
event,
Hey everyone.
and
It's
it always says card
Hey
subject to
everyone.
change.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say, guys. Card subject change. You bought the ticket. It's a fucking legal contract. Many of which I have
Yep,
fucking signed. Many of which I write for my partner Richard White, shout out Rich, Crown Sports Management. He
he
writes our
writes it out.
contracts. We pay him for his time. Um, he makes a he gives us a very reasonable rate as we're partners, but dude, that's a legally binding contract.
Yep,
Got everyone bought that ticket, legally binding contract. Enjoy fucking Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochazaka. It's still a great fucking fight. I don't get like that's the thing. You're still getting a great fight. Enjoy your trip. It won't be the same as a McGregor fight, but it is what it is, people. Us fighters, we sign those contracts. We are subject to those contracts. You, the ticket buyer, are also subject to the
yep,
contract you
yep.
signed when you bought that ticket. Sorry, not sorry.
It happens in wrestling all the time with cards subject to change.
Right?
Now, do you think that okay, Chandler McGregor, does it happen in 2024? Does it happen
Yes,
in
yes,
September?
yes.
Does it okay. So you
I
do think it's going to happen
I 100% think it's gonna happen. I
this
just
year, I
don't.
mean.
Yes, 100%. Thing is, I just don't know when. The UFC's like pretty
They're
jammed as far as their
they're
schedule
booked they're booked out. Yep.
for the next 2 or 3 months. So I mean, I don't know when it'll
You're
be.
look.
It could go all the way to like I've been hearing November. It probably won't be October, so I've been hearing November, December. So I mean, I
Well,
would
when they go to MSG, I think that's December-ish. So
yeah. The MSG card makes the most sense because
yeah,
you'll. I'll tell you what. You want to talk about an expensive ticket? You have Stipe versus Jon Jones and Connor versus Chandler on the same card. That is going to
I don't know if I
that
would do
card is
that.
going. Why not at MSG? Fuck
Well,
yeah, they would.
because
Fuck yeah, they would.
you could use each of them as a main event for separate pay-per-views and draw huge money. You think
That's
if you
all.
put them on
That's
the
all. Well,
same?
that's also true. But the one thing I will say is Dana White's known for making these
He does.
giant events. Making
He
Conor
does.
McGregor. Dana White loves making a big splash. That fight card would make such a big splash on the MMA landscape, on the just greater media landscape. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be pretty like we're gonna hear rumors and then Dana will probably come out of left field with something. I think it's a safe bet, like around that card, like right the November December card. Pretty safe bet we'll see Connor that November December card.
Okay, and so you also think that you'll see Stipe and Jones. It could possibly be the
I think
same
it'll be.
card.
I would bet. It'll be on one of was it? It was originally supposed to be in the MSG card, right?
Yeah, I thought they were trying to get it there. They were trying to get it back for
You
that
know,
because obviously it makes more
With Jon
sense.
Jones' injury, it might be 2025 for that fight.
That's wow. I didn't know it was. I'm sorry. What
Dude,
was the actual injury for Jon Jones?
torn pectoral.
Oh, so he tore his pec. You're right. So that is like a year long type of
I
injury.
believe it was a torn
So
pec.
you're yeah.
It was
Those are
either torn pec or a torn like labrum. So it might have been bicep. He definitely tore one.
yeah.
It was either like pectoral, like the labrum or bicep. So I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I did want to get into quickly about the PFL.
Yeah,
Um, they're running several events this week, and we have a friend, a UConn alum, Jim Tucker, who
yeah.
works for the PFL. He's very high up in the company. Shout out to Jim.
Shout out
Um,
Jim Tucker.
they have an event on tonight, the 21st,
Yeah.
and then their next event is the 28th, but then UFC 303 is the 29th. So scheduling wise, that's a little ballsy. But
Not really. Not really. Not
what's
really.
your opinion of the PFL and how they've been doing since they bought?
Having fought for the PFL, nothing but
Yes,
first class organization. Shout out Jim Tucker. Shout out Ray Sappho, the president of PFL, who I've always had a great relationship with. Always had great, very easy to deal with. The company is just absolutely their acquisition of Bellator. All the people I've ever dealt with in Bellator, just tremendous people to deal with. Um, this upcoming card, I'm very much looking forward to it. There's some real key fights in it. I'm really looking forward to the Michael Dufort versus Piccolante fight. Dufort's Canadian Badass 13-4, former Cage Titans FC lightweight champion, where he choked out Joe Skeletor Giannetti in the second round. Um, Dufort, my one of my favorite best clients, Luis Pena. He beat Luis by round one round one
right.
guillotine choke in Aries Fight Series back in 2022, no 2020, yeah 2022 or 2023, I believe. Um, Michael Dufort, I dark horse. I think he's my pick to win the PFL lightweight tournament. This season he's fighting Adam Piccolante, coming off a flying KO loss um, against Elvin Espinoza, with who's 9-0 and has really no notable wins. So I mean, that's going to be an amazing event. And get back to what you're saying, the economics of it. Um, I think it's actually a really smart move to have that fight the night before the UFC
To
because
piggyback UFC,
it's
you think people will buy both?
exactly,
You really
exactly.
do.
Oh yeah, like
WWE's been doing some of that lately. I don't think people will spend that kind of money to buy both.
but here's the thing.
But
Here's the thing about
maybe they will.
here's the thing about the PFL. You don't have to spend money. It's on
Oh, you're right.
ESPN.
You're right. It's not a
You don't have
pay-per-view.
to
You're
spend
right.
money. And
I
if you go to
forgot.
the event, get to see a great night of MMA, a huge
Yep.
spectacle, tremendous production, tremendous
Good talent.
fighters, tremendous talent for a fraction of the cost at a great event.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
what.
You're right.
The night I beat the shit out of Lorenzo Hood, choked him out at Foxwoods. It's I had one of the best nights ever. After don't get me wrong, one of the best experiences of my fight career in the event. After the event, being right at Foxwoods, having everything there, having a freaking nightclub dedicated to our event, it was one of the best events I've ever been to. And I mean, that's including my experiences, at the UFC. I the PFL runs a first class organization. They run amazing events, and it's not going to break your bank the way
Yeah.
going to see UFC 303 will. So I
You're
think the
right.
PFL has a great business model. And I think that they're doing amazing things to really further the sport of MMA.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a few minutes left.
Yeah,
Let's talk about your fighters and your company right now. Um, Capital, what's it called again?
Crown Sports Entertainment.
Crown Sports Entertainment. You and your partner, you train, you manage fighters. Now,
Well, my partner hooks me up. Shout out to my partner Richard Weiss. He
yep,
brought me my favorite, probably my best client, kid by the name of Ozzy Martin. He's the number one rate. Well, depends who you're talking. Right now, he's the Cage Titans Fighting Championship, amateur welterweight champion. He has one loss on his record to the former welterweight champion, where he lost a title fight by doctor stoppage, because his left eye swelled shut. Since then, he's
yeah.
won the welterweight championship. He's set to defend his belt on July 20th. It'll be on Spectation Sports pay-per-view, and everyone should download Spectation app, watch my boy Ozzy Martin fight, get to see my handsome face in the corner, watch Ozzy's other handsome coaches, Devin Powell. Shout out Devin Powell, the owner and coach of No Sos MMA, and don't remember the exact location, right at the Maine New Hampshire border, and his other coach out of Lakes Region Valley Tudo. Um, what's his name? Taylor Mears. Shout out Lakes Region Valley Tudo. His great coaching staff, myself included. It's going to be a barn burner. And the main event is a match of UFC veterans for the Cage Professional Lightweight Championship between Skeletor Jojo Giannetti and Peter Barrett. So it's going to be an amazing night of fights. Buy the pay-per-view. Give Ozzy, put Ozzy's name in the little box when you buy the pay-per-view, so he can get paid, as the amateurs don't get paid other than for
No, you're right.
sponsorships. So that's about all I have to that. But shout out to Ozzy Martin, my other great fighter, Luis Pena, getting ready for his fight, most likely the Aries Fight Series, or another one of the great promotions on Spectation Sports. We'll have some announcements about that in the coming week or two.
Yeah, so a lot going on in the world of MMA.
That's
And
right.
so, we got through our first show, and I think we did pretty well with it.
Oh, of
Um,
course. I mean, we're hosting it. Of course it did. Of
there's
course
a
we
lot
did.
to talk about, and I do apologize having to cut things short because of my radio show. But going forward, this is Husky MMA Talk with the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully, also known as the Great Collini, and the Marauder, Tyler King. The Marauder, Tyler King. So we have quite a bit to offer. This is our first episode. We will set times to record, and we'll bring you content on my YouTube channel. And also, we should be on all platforms, especially Spotify, Apple iTunes, and iHeart. So look for us there. And then we will also spread the word on social media. Look for LinkedIn, look for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So we will try to get the word out. It's always fun building a new podcast. And for me, I love adding another show talking about MMA, which I do enjoy and I watch. And I obviously Tyler is a veteran, competitor, champion, knows the game, knows the business. So there's a lot to offer. There's a lot to offer, and a lot more to discuss. Um, we will discuss as well the next time we record. So Tyler, great episode.
Thank you very much, Steve. I really enjoyed it.
This was fun.
It's gonna be huge.
This was fun. This is going to be good. There aren't a lot of MMA shows, so I think we got a good one. And having a veteran like you, and we'll be able to have some of your fighters on as guests and the contacts that you have, and hopefully we'll promote your fight on the 16th.
Everyone,
And I'll make sure to call out Matt Hamill.
Dude, I mean, I might stick around for him, but there's only one guy, and he knows who he is. And
he knows who he is. He does.
I mean, he made a really big mistake a couple weeks ago showing up at the gym. So I mean,
did he really?
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting when I get my hands on him. Well, it'll be quick. It'll be quick.
So we have a lot to talk about next week. I think we'll either do an episode before the pay-per-views, or we'll do an episode and we'll recap the pay-per-views. We'll or we'll do both. We'll see what Tyler's availability is, and this is going to be great. So for Tyler the Marauder King, I am the great Collini, Steve Cully. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life.